When you think about cricket, what comes to mind? You know, the green pitch, the players in white, the sound of the ball hitting the bat. It's classic. But what if I told you there's another player out there, one you can't see? A player that's influencing every single decision, every training session, and yeah, even the final score? That player? It's artificial intelligence.
So that brings us to the big question, right? How is this game, a sport that's literally centuries old and steeped in tradition, being completely turned on its head by, well, by code? It's a fantastic question, and that's exactly what we're going to break down. We're going to look at how AI is rewriting the playbook for cricket, from the umpire's call all the way to you, the fan watching at home.
All right, let's start where you'd notice it the most, right on the pitch. We're talking about those on-field decisions. For as long as cricket's been around, the umpire's word was law. A single decision made in a split second. But these days, they've got a digital partner helping them out.
Now, to really get this, we have to talk about one of cricket's trickiest rules, leg before wicket, or LBW. It's a tough call. Basically, the umpire has to predict the future. They have to decide if the ball, after it hit the player's leg, would have gone on to smash into those 3 wooden stumps. I mean, think about it. It's this massive what if that for over 100 years was based purely on human guesswork.
And that's where you see this huge shift. On one hand, you have the old way, the umpire's eye, a decision made under incredible pressure in the blink of an eye, and yeah, sometimes it was wrong. But now we have the decision review system, or DRS. Instead of just one person's judgment, the system pulls in a ton of data points to give an objective, data-driven result.
So what's actually in this high-tech toolkit? Well, 2 main things. First, you've got Hawkeye. It uses a bunch of cameras to track the ball and then predict its path, answering that critical question, would it have hit the stumps? Then you have Snicko. It's basically a super-powered microphone that can hear the tiniest, faintest sound of the ball just grazing the bat, a sound a human ear would almost never catch.
But AI isn't just helping the umpires. Oh no, it's changing the athletes themselves. It's pushing them, fine-tuning them, and helping them go beyond what we ever thought was possible for a human athlete.
This line right here, it says it all. The game isn't just about what happens on the day anymore. Just like AI gives umpires more data, it's giving players and coaches this incredible, deep insight into performance. Winning now starts with meticulous, data-driven preparation, way before anyone even steps onto the field.
So how does it work? It's this constant feedback loop. Players wear smart vests and watches that collect all this data, heart rate, bowling speed, you name it. Then AI algorithms crunch the numbers, looking for patterns. From there, it creates personalized training plans. But here's the real game changer. It can spot the risk of injury before it happens. By tracking fatigue and workload, it helps prevent those breakdowns that can end a career.
And this isn't just about reviewing data after practice. Just imagine this, a coach in the middle of a high-stakes match, looking at a screen and seeing a bowler's fatigue levels in real time. They can make a strategic change right then and there, maybe pulling out a player who looks fine to the naked eye, but the data says they're on the verge of exhaustion. It's incredible.
Now, if you zoom out from the individual player, you'll see this data-driven revolution is also changing how entire teams are built. You could say it's cricket's own Moneyball moment.
The difference is just night and day. The old way was all about a scout's gut feeling, just watching a player and looking at some basic stats. Now, it's all about AI-driven talent analysis. And forget manually tracking things. It's all automated. They're even using predictive analysis to figure out if a player will actually fit in with the team's chemistry.
Think about something like the Indian Premier League player auction, where millions of dollars are on the line. This stuff is a massive advantage. AI can help a team figure out what a player is really worth, dig through the stats to find those underrated hidden gems, and even predict if a star player's style will clash with the team's culture. It's completely changing the recruitment game.
Okay, so now let's get into one of the most fascinating ways AI is being used in cricket, trying to predict the future, even when something as random as the weather gets in the way.
Every cricket fan knows this pain. You're in the middle of an intense match, and then the rain comes down. Play stops. So what do? How do you figure out who wins? For years, the sport has relied on a really complicated mathematical formula to come up with a fair target.
And that formula is called the Duckworth-Lewis-Stern method, or DLS. It's been the gold standard since the late 90s. It tries to balance all the variables, how many overs are left, how many wickets are down, to set a new fair score. And look, for a long time, it was the best tool we had.
But then, back in 2019, some researchers came along and asked a very 21st century question. They took tons of data from past matches and basically said, hey, I wonder if a machine learning algorithm can predict the winner of these rain-stop games better than the old formula.
And the answer they found? Well, it came down to this one very powerful number.
It turns out a neural network, a type of AI, was able to predict the winner over 80% of the time. Now, that is a huge leap from the older models, which were only about 71% accurate. This was proof that AI couldn't just assist the game, it could actually outperform some of its most complex rules.
Okay, so we've talked about umpires, players, and coaches, but let's bring it all back to the people who really matter in any sport, the fans. Because all this amazing technology isn't just for the professionals, it's changing how every single one of us experiences the game.
I mean, think about it for a second. If you've ever played fantasy cricket for the IPL or the Big Bash, it's an AI that's crunching all those numbers and giving you player points in real time. It's AI that powers those news alerts you get about your favorite team. It's making the whole fan experience more personal, more immersive, and, of course, a lot more competitive between you and your friends.
So where does that leave us? We've seen AI step in as the umpire, the coach, the scout, and even as your personal sports assistant. It's made cricket more accurate, the players more fine-tuned, and the fan experience richer than ever. But it all leads to one final, fascinating question to think about. As data becomes king, what happens to human instinct? In a world ruled by algorithms, what's the future for that spark of genius? That gut feeling a captain has, that moment of magic from a player that no machine could ever see coming?